What's going on, everybody? DogMan Dan here. We're going to talk a little bit about the temporary future of Warframe trials in this video. So, as always, you guys are welcome to comment, leave your thoughts and opinions and everything below. I'm going to try to keep this as neutral as I can from both sides. And let's just, keep it appropriate, nobody ripping everybody else apart, because there's obviously a whole bunch of different feelings going on with this. Depending upon the type of player you are and everything that's going on. So, first off, by now you've already heard the Warframe trials are going to be going away. Okay, so important to note is that they're set to go away on the 28th of February on PC. If you haven't run them, you can go ahead and run it at least once for your chance to get a special badge for having run any of the trials. Actually, the LOR trial, the Laws of Retribution trial. Okay, so if you run it and you successfully complete it, then you're eligible for one of these special badges, the Savada Sakara badge that will be determined just as FYI. Okay, it's been a big thing for the years that they've had it out. So they say, I'm just going to go through this here. As well, all consoles are going to have it for a little bit longer because they have to make the next cert process before they can take it out through certification. So obviously that'll happen on the next big certification process, maintenance, just FYI. So you'll have the trials a little bit longer than what the PC has. On May 18, 2015, they introduced the Laws of Retribution and then the Jordas Verdict as trials on October 29th. 4 to 8 player trials. We all know multiple phases, puzzles, tons of mayhem. It was when I first did it. I bought the tickets or the required keys and everything like everybody else, and I tried it once. I've only ever played one trial, made it halfway through with the guys in the clan. Found so many bugs and issues with it. We were just not thrilled with the whole way the raid system worked when it came out and released. That it just totally turned us off. And if you compare it to other games that have, heavily detailed raids, and that's what you do all the time, blah, 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 right? So your comparison's completely different, and I get it. You really can't compare the Warframe trials to another type of raid. It is completely different. However, the way that it was introduced at the time, and the way that it was pretty much laid out to ended up being, certain types of frames, certain ways of doing it, it just was like, you know what? I'm not interested in it. It takes away the fun of trying to do something as challenging as that. So for me, and I would say maybe for a good number of the guys in the clan, there are a good number of people that have done raids and that's what they love to do. And I fully understand the disappointment in it being taken out of the game, or being put on hiatus, if you will. Much like the Dark Sectors thing has been on hiatus for several years. But I can understand why they want to do it. I mean, even all these years that they've been there, there's just been bugs and game-breaking issues with the trials, and they've never really been able to dedicate the time that they need to actually make the trials something that could be, a lot less bug-free, if you will, a lot less game-breaking issues in it, and a lot more fun for more players. And I think, from reading it, this is kind of what they're trying to do. Right now, they don't have the wherewithal, the means to support it anymore and try to manage the other upcoming projects that are coming out this year, which obviously, a lot of partners know about some of the stuff that's coming, but we're not able to talk about it, and that's just for things that we sign in NDAs and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things coming, and I can see where they're at with the changes, and I can get the understanding that, yeah, I know many clans are built around these raids and these trials, and people are going to be, oh, our clan's going to be dead, we're going to be done with this game, so forth and so on. But I think if you look at it in terms of where it stands with the amount of changes required to fix the issues that have been ongoing and compounded on top of other issues on top of other issues for the trials, that they ultimately are at this point where they have no choice but to remove it so that they can go ahead and redo it, if you will. And that's basically what it is. And you guys are free to go over to those forums, and I think I'll leave a link here to that workshop, and discuss it as well. I mean, feel free to discuss it here. I always share the stuff with the development team, and they do definitely listen to all the comments from creators to people that actually comment on our videos, and they are very constructive, at least in listening to what's going on. And there has definitely been a huge uproar in terms of partners privately with the regarding this being taken out of game. And some people say, well, just leave it in game and fix it along the way, but that's been the problem. They can't fix the mechanics that they need to fix or the issues that they need to fix with it without taking it out now. And I get it, it sucks. I mean, it's like, if that's what you do, and Warframe being so big and having so many different things that you can do in the game, diversified in terms of, some people, all they do is go and play the Conclave. Some people only play raids. Some people only play Archwing. Some people only do this and only do that, and that's what you enjoy. And you're going to take that away from somebody, so they're not necessarily going to be happy with it. And hopefully, it doesn't ruin too much. I don't know that that's what I want to say, but like, hopefully that the people that have only really focused on raids can find something else in the game. I mean, with the new update that came out, and the new terror list and stuff. Let's see, what is it? It's the terror list and the new things, the Shrine of Eidolon that came out, the Gauna list and the Hydra list and the terror list, and all those new things that are out in PoE. Hopefully that kind of helps you out. And now I know the arcane, arcanes will be coming to the Eidolon stuff, but they obviously not released the Terror List arcane stuff yet. They have some exploits that they want to fix before they put that into the Terror Lists and such, and destroy the arcane market as it stands right now. So it'll be a little while longer before the arcanes hit that. And I think, honestly, the arcanes should have hit that a long time ago. But, whatever. It's coming out now. It's something else, someplace for others to go. PoE is a little bit more friendly to different players, even newer players, as long as they've got the right gear or the right team, can get through terror lists and such. So I think that the overall play experience is they want to be able to incorporate more people being able to enjoy the experience of whatever it is, the raids or the future raids, at different levels, and to see what would be essentially, even if you look at it, the only true end game content that really existed in Warframe as the trials. If you're talking about, like, complexity and difficulty, right? But the terror lists and whatnot have been pretty challenging for many people as well. So it's going to be a back and forth. Like I said, I fully understand both sides of this. I see from a development standpoint that, hey, we're admitting that we've gotten to the point that we can't. We have so many other things that we have planned for this year that are bigger and need those development people to make those happen. And at the same time, in order to make the raids a better experience overall, they need to just take it out of game. That's just the way it is. Now, I don't know the numbers of how many people actually play it versus don't play it, stuff like that. And like I said, it's random. I mean, there's months that I'll go without playing certain things, and then I will just start playing this stuff over and over and over, certain stuff that I haven't played in a while. And I do, a lot of times I'll do that just to get away from the mundane, the boring, the constantly doing the same thing over and over, which I think is one of the strong points of Warframe, is that you can go and do something else. There's so many different things that you can do in the game that allows you to not be stuck doing the same thing over and over and over. And, don't get me wrong, the new relics are out, the Prime Vault relic stuff, and you've got to farm through Plains of Eidolon, but at least you have 2 months to farm through PoE instead of burning yourself out. And the good point of that is at least they made them to the respect of you know exactly which relics you're getting instead of playing random missions over and over and over and hoping that eventually you get the relics that you're looking for. So you're more likely to get the relics. The grind, even though it's gonna suck, sorta, it's not as horrible. So I am not saying that it's a thrilling thing to see that after 2 years they're gonna pull it out for now. Um, and I know that people that play it every day are gonna be pissed, and you guys have the right to be pissed. But I do, from the other perspective, say let's just see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't become another. Well, we all know another dark sector where it's just not there. But then they said, P.S. If you didn't hear, we're working on some dark sector mayhem as hinted. But you know what? I don't want to go ahead and say, hey, yeah, let's just wait on that and see what happens. Dark sectors. They went through a couple different versions of it. And I think personally for me, the last version of Dark Sectors, I had no interest in because it was more PvP than anything else. I liked the initial one, with your team, and you had the specters of your players and so forth and so on. But then I did like some of the aspects of the other, but it was done wrong, and I understand why they took that out too. And maybe they do have this revamped finally, what they're talking about it, and maybe it'll come out correctly and people will be all interested. So you know what, you're not going to win. um you can sit there and bitch all day and say, hey, don't take it out of the game, I'm going to quit the game, this and that, but ultimately it's not going to stop it from coming out of the game. It's the developer decision. This is it, it's coming out of game. You guys might not like it, yeah, you're going to hate us for a while. It is what it is. At least they're owning up to things, and they're saying, we understand your frustrations and everything, but this is just the way it is. I mean, we could be in plenty other games out there that just don't even give a crap. I mean, look at the history of some of the games out there that just don't give a crap about the community at all. Um, in general, and it's just like, this is our game, this is the way it's going to be. Play it or don't play it. We don't care. We're, at least DE is got the attitude of, we understand where you're at. Yes, it's going to suck. Yes, you can hate us. But take a look and see what we're still going to do. I mean, they have plenty years of this game left. There's no doubt about that. This is a game that is meant to stand for a very long time. Um, so anyway, that's kind of my thoughts of where I am with the laws. Yeah, the trial stuff, I never did it. Never really cared for the arcane stuff. Maybe I'll have more access to it now that the Terror List and whatnot will be getting it. But again, it's not something to me that I haven't played for so many hours and been here for 5 years plus now and whatnot, that arcanes are not a big thing to me. There's a lot of things in game that are just not a big deal to me, that are just, yeah, it's nice to have, but I don't really need it. Like, I don't have to have it in order to continue playing the game that I enjoy. So, anyway, again, please do feel free to leave comments. Hopefully I kept this as objective as I could, and you could kind of get an idea from either side of where we're at with this. And if not, you feel free to leave those comments. But anyway, I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.